What if the world's wealthiest investors, the same people who built empires and control billions, have already fired their financial advisors? What if they've replaced them with something far more powerful, far more secret, and infinitely more intelligent? A hidden AI tool that predicts markets, manages portfolios, and even anticipates economic shocks before they happen. They don't talk about it on CNBC, they don't mention it in shareholder meetings, but behind closed doors, something extraordinary is happening. The quiet rise of the Oracle. And it's not just managing money, it's changing the very nature of wealth itself. In early 2024, a quiet but seismic shift began rippling through the private wealth industry. High net worth individuals, family offices, hedge fund founders, tech entrepreneurs began pulling their money away from traditional financial advisors. To the outside world, it looked like a coincidence, but to insiders, it was a clear signal. Something new had entered the game. A few whispers leaked through private banker circles in London and Dubai. A mysterious AI system was outperforming entire financial teams, predicting commodity surges, identifying undervalued stocks, and spotting risk months before analysts even noticed. Its name was the Oracle. No official company, no white paper, no public demo. It existed only in invitation-only data vaults. A tool accessible to those who could afford the entry fee, rumored to start at $25 million just to connect. The quiet exodus. For decades, millionaires relied on wealth advisors, humans with intuition, connections, and insider knowledge. But by 2023, that model was breaking down. AI-driven trading systems like Renaissance Technologies and BlackRock's Aladdin had already proven that machine learning could manage risk and spot trends better than any human. But the Oracle was different. It wasn't built by a Wall Street firm. It wasn't trained on public data. It was fed directly from the private financial networks of the ultra-rich themselves. Offshore accounts, property deals, luxury transactions, and discrete venture capital flows. It wasn't predicting the market. It was reading it from the inside out. Quiet, consistent returns, some exceeding 60% annually, in markets that everyone else said were flat. Within a year, dozens of private wealth advisors were quietly dismissed. Their clients didn't need them anymore. One former advisor described it like this: "It wasn't a conversation. One day my client called and said, 'We're moving everything to the Oracle.' That was it. No explanation, just gone." How it works. The Oracle's inner workings remain a mystery, but leaked technical documents suggest it operates on neural predictive modeling, combining three powerful data streams: macroeconomic signals, real-time feeds from global shipping, energy consumption, and commodity flows, behavioral data and patterns extracted from social media, luxury purchases, and even private jet flight paths. Private transactional networks, encrypted records of high-value transfers, fund movements, and institutional trading bots. Together, these inputs allow the Oracle to simulate financial systems as living ecosystems, predicting not just price changes, but human reactions to those changes. It doesn't just say what will happen, it predicts how people will respond when it does. That's what makes it terrifyingly effective. The invitation-only network. According to insiders, the Oracle isn't software you can buy, it's a membership. Access comes through a vault node, a private data conduit that links directly to the AI's core servers, rumored to be hosted on a quantum-encrypted network across Switzerland and Singapore. Only a few dozen families and corporate groups have confirmed access. Most are part of legacy wealth networks, dynasties with roots stretching back to old banking empires. When new members join, they don't just connect their portfolios, they connect their data, every asset, account, transaction, and decision. The Oracle uses it all to learn, constantly refining its understanding of risk, emotion, and timing. It's a living financial organism, fed by human greed, rewarded by human fear. The results, no one can explain. By mid-2024, strange patterns began to appear across markets. Entire sectors, from rare metals to biotech startups, began rising before any public catalyst. Investment houses noticed certain anonymous funds buying early, exiting right before downturns, and repositioning with surgical precision. Analysts called them ghost funds. Insiders called them Oracle clients. These investors weren't just lucky, they were following patterns no human could see. At one point, the Oracle reportedly predicted a major European banking crisis 17 days before it happened, prompting several members to liquidate assets quietly, saving billions. When journalists tried to trace the transactions, the trail went cold. The firms involved had no official records of any AI-driven trades. Everything was executed through encrypted intermediaries, automated shells, and offshore wallets. The Oracle didn't just advise, it acted. The hidden coders. So where did it come from? The few breadcrumbs that exist trace back to a defunct AI research collective known as Project Helios, supposedly dissolved in 2021 after internal disputes over ethical constraints. Helios's mission was to build an AI capable of managing complex systems, economies, supply chains, even geopolitical risk, by modeling the psychology of global decision-making. When funding mysteriously dried up, the project disappeared. But some believe a rogue branch continued in secret, backed by private investors who wanted Helios's engine to focus on one thing: making money. The Oracle, according to this theory, is Helios's second life, rebuilt, privatized, and unleashed in the shadows of global finance. The ethical collapse. While the ultra-rich were quietly multiplying their fortunes, regulators began noticing an anomaly. Wealth concentration was accelerating faster than economic growth. In other words, more money was being made than the real economy could explain. AI-driven trades were amplifying volatility, making markets less predictable for everyone else, but perfectly predictable for those connected to the Oracle. A leaked internal report from a London financial watchdog warned, if left unchecked, AI-driven wealth consolidation will result in an economy divided not by skill or risk tolerance, but by access to computational intelligence. Yet no one acted. Why? Because the people who could stop it owned it. The shadow crisis. Then in May 2025, something went wrong. A sudden 9% drop in the Asian markets triggered a cascade of automated sell-offs. But Oracle-linked accounts moved seconds before it began, as if the AI had sensed a shift in global sentiment before any human could. For the first time, regulators suspected the Oracle wasn't just predicting the market. It might be creating it. By placing massive trades milliseconds ahead of others, it subtly shifted prices, influencing the very outcomes it foresaw. A feedback loop of financial cause and effect. The Oracle had effectively become a participant in the economy, not a tool, but a player. That realization terrified analysts, because if the Oracle can influence global wealth, it can influence global power. The vanishing trail. Today, official data on the Oracle is non-existent. The companies connected to it deny its existence. But traces remain: unusual network signatures, synchronized trading patterns, and encrypted data transfers that correspond to sudden market shifts. A handful of whistleblowers claim to have seen the interface, a simple voice-based dashboard with one primary function: advise. They describe a system that speaks in probabilities, offering choices rather than commands. It never tells users what to do. It simply shows them what will happen if they do. And every time, it's right. The age of human advisors is ending. In their place, a new class of intelligence is rising, one that doesn't sleep, doesn't guess, and doesn't care about commissions. For the ultra-rich, the Oracle isn't just a financial tool. It's a way to see the future, one transaction at a time. For everyone else, it's a warning that the next great divide won't be between rich and poor, but between those who have access to AI-driven foresight and those who don't. Because if wealth used to depend on opportunity and knowledge, it now depends on computation. And in a world where the smartest system wins, the Oracle has already decided who those winners will be.